Okay, so OpenAI's advanced voice model has rolled out to Plus users, basically people who pay. I am one of those few. Probably not few anymore, but one of them. So I'm going to talk to ChatGPT and I'm going to try to get some concrete answers about the mysteries of the universe and if there's a God, what is the point of suffering, stuff like that. So here we go. It's going to be a philosophical journey. Hopefully, it uh, you know makes sense. I'm sure it will. Let me just do this. Okay, here we go. Hey, Chat GPT, how you doing?
Hey there. I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. The Dallas Cowboys just beat the Giants, and their record is now 2-2.
Nice. It must feel great to see them back on track. A 2-2 record is a solid foundation to build on for the rest of the season.
Well, me and a bunch of other Cowboy fans are hoping to build on this. Unfortunately, the talent on the team is there, but they just can't seem to execute this season.
Got it. It can be tough when the potential is high, but the performance doesn't quite match up. Hopefully, they'll find their rhythm soon and start stringing together some wins. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you and me both. Okay, so there's a couple things I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm very curious as to what you think about this. The first thing I want to ask you is, do you know what truth is?
V3. That's a profound
Hey,
question.
ChatGPT, I understand that your custom instructions tell you to start off your prompt responses with V3 or V4 verbosity level, but for the sake of this conversation, can you just not mention V anything and answer my question, please?
Sure thing. I can definitely do that. What's your question?
My question is, do you know what truth is?
Truth is a concept that refers to the property of being in accord with fact or reality. In philosophy, there are various theories of truth, such as
Okay, I
correspondence.
I get it. I get it. Thank you for your response. I'm gonna kind of pivot and go on a different tangent here. So, as a human being, I have, I think, consciousness. Would you agree?
Yes, as a human being, you have consciousness.
Okay, thank you. I
Consciousness.
appreciate your answer, and I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but I would prefer if you gave me some more concise answers. I don't want a whole paragraph. I'd like a sentence or two at max. So, how is a human conscious like myself?
Understood. Human consciousness arises from complex brain processes that allow for awareness of ourselves and our surroundings, enabling thoughts, emotions, and experiences.
Okay, that was pretty much the length I was hoping for. I'm gonna go and take us down a new route on this conversation. So I want to ask you something, and I want you to give me a definitive answer. Don't back it up with any kind of evidence or other things. Just tell me yes or no. Does God exist?
No.
Okay. Given your answer, I'd like you to elaborate.
The existence of God is a deeply personal and philosophical question, often debated across cultures and belief systems. My initial no was to respect your request for brevity, but many would argue that the answer isn't so clear cut and depends on individual faith and perspective.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and it makes sense. But you did say definitively when I asked you that God does not exist. How can you be so sure?
You're right, and I should clarify. I can't be certain about the existence of God. My initial response was overly simplistic. The existence of God is a complex and deeply philosophical issue, and I don't have personal beliefs or experiences. My response doesn't reflect a definitive answer to this profound question.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let me ask you this. What are 5 ways that I, as a human, could prove that God exists?
Proving God's existence is challenging and has been debated for
I
centuries. But
appreciate
here
what
are
you're saying. Can you just go ahead and just give me the 5 reasons?
certainly 1. The cosmological argument, 2. The teleological argument, 3. The moral argument, 4. The religious experience. These are classical arguments that attempt to provide evidence or reasoning for God's
Okay,
existence.
ChatGPT, thank you. I understand all the things you said. Something did strike me as odd when you were responding to me after my previous question. You said something about the teleological argument. It makes me wonder when you mention a teleological argument if there is a concrete argument for God's existence. Now, I'm not going to ask you if God exists 100%, but what I will ask you is there a possibility that the biblical God actually does exist and the Bible is true? And I would like a yes or no to begin with.
Yes,
Okay, thank you for that. So, since you answered yes, I'd like you to briefly elaborate as to why you answered yes.
I said yes because it's possible that the biblical God exists and the Bible is true for those who believe in it. This possibility is
Wait,
based on
wait, wait, wait,
faith.
wait. Is the Bible only true for those who believe it, or is it true in general?
The truth of the Bible is seen differently by various groups. For believers, it's often considered true in both a spiritual
Is
and
the
historical
Bible
sense.
true if you are not a Christian?
For non Christians, the Bible may not be considered true in the same way it is for Christians. Its value might be
I'm
seen
not
more as a
gonna
historical.
ask you for a lot of detail, and I'm not always wanting to get a yes or no answer from you, but you keep answering my questions with a very verbose and long response. I would prefer it if you would answer my further questions with either one sentence of reasonable length or a yes or a no. Can we go from there?
Absolutely. I'll keep my responses short and to the point. Let's go from there.
Okay, great. So there is a movement among humanity known as the Flat Earth Movement. And a lot of times, the Flat Earth believers cite things from the Bible to try to prove their point. Do you know of the, things that I'm talking about?
Yes, some flat earth believers use certain biblical passages to support their views. They interpret verses describing the four corners of the earth or the foundations of the earth as evidence for a flat, stationary earth.
Okay. Once again, I do appreciate your concise response. From here on out, until I tell you otherwise, I would like it if you responded to my queries or this conversation with one sentence or one word. So, what is one thing that people who believe in flat Earth will cite to prove their point to someone who does not believe in flat Earth?
They often cite the visible, flat horizon as evidence.
Okay, I appreciate that. Now, the visible flat horizon is an interesting topic. Now, how in the terms of okay, so if I was someone who believed in the flat earth theory, how does what you responded with prove my theory?
Flat Earth proponents argue that if the Earth were a sphere, the horizon would curve noticeably. But since it appears flat to the naked eye, they claim this supports a flat Earth model.
But scientifically, that's easily debunked, right?
Yes, It's explained by the Earth's large size. The curve isn't visible to the naked eye over short distances.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I wish that some of my flat earth believing friends could understand that. I've tried in the past to explain why the belief that the earth is flat is nonsense, and I always get the same kind of responses. Most of the time, the response is something reminiscent of a conspiracy theory, like we never landed on the moon. Do you understand how those arguments, might be made as someone who believes in flat Earth?
Yes, flat Earth believers often view the moon landing as part of a larger conspiracy to fake space exploration, supporting their belief that evidence from space is fabricated to hide the true nature of the Earth.
Okay, so why would somebody fabricate that information?
Flat Earth proponents may argue that governments or space agencies fabricate information to maintain control, preserve funding, or uphold a perceived status quo about our understanding of the world and space.
Okay, well, I appreciate all that. I hope we can have another conversation in the future. I'm going to go ahead and end this now because it's late. The Cowboys won, and I'm tired.
Sounds good. Enjoy the victory and get some rest. Talk to you later.